Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here, Midwest Market Management. I got Riley Sykart on with me here today. It is Thursday, December 18th. We're going to jump right into South America weather. Riley, what do we got in store for us here today?
Not a lot of big changes from Tuesday, Clint. I'm just going to dive into it here. First thing I want to do, put into perspective how big of an area we're talking about. So, in terms of South America crop, we're looking at Mato Grosso and the Tocantins all the way down through central Argentina. If you put just Mato Grosso on a U.S. map, we're looking at almost the whole Midwest here, guys. So, uh, the area in South America is almost the size of our entire continent here in the States. So a lot of area that we're looking at. So diving into the actual temperature side here, next 1 to 5 days, more of the same for Brazil, pretty moderate to mild temps, not anything that's going to be causing any negative effects on the crop. Argentina, 1 to 5, same thing I was showing you guys on Tuesday. This western region's had about 2 weeks straight now of areas that have been in the mid 90s. They have had enough rain that it's not a serious problem yet, but if that's a trend that continues, it will be definitely something to keep an eye on. So as we move into the 6 to 10, a little bit of warmer temps here in central southern Brazil. Definitely not anything that's hot enough or looking to be sustained long enough to cause any issues, Clint. Uh, Looking at temperatures this year, you correct me if I'm wrong, there really has not been a big issue so far. Everything's been very ideal on the temperature side of things.
Oh, pre-growing season when they were all sitting there on the starting line ready to roll. Remember that was a bunch of hundreds and 105 and 108, but once they got into the growing season, it's really never been any significant stress.
No, it's been pretty easy for them on the temperature side of things. But Argentina, this is where I would say the 6 to 10 day is taking out a lot of that heat in that northwestern region. So anything
Yeah,
that could have been started to be considered an issue is being relieved there a bit. So
sure.
moving forward, last 2 weeks of rainfall, nothing really new here since Tuesday. Mato Grosso, as we know, has had continued strong rainfall down in the south. The last 2 weeks have started to dry up a little bit. And Argentina is about the same way. That's stuff that hit right on the border. And other than that, the maps haven't really changed any in 2 weeks here. So moving forward into the 1 to 5 day, there are some changes now. First, in southern Brazil, not a whole lot of rain in the forecast. Some regions potentially getting an inch to 2 inches, but down in the south, we got to start watching that a little bit more to see if they're going to dry out. As for the north, got to remember Mato Grosso and up in the Toncatins, there's going to be bean harvest starting here in the next 2 weeks. So they're starting to get closer to the time where having 4 inches of rain hit them in 5 days isn't necessarily a good thing for them. But on the flip side, in terms of how the markets will react to it, not any issues with them getting more rain. The one thing you will just have to look more at is as Safrinha corn crop is starting to be stuck in the ground, will there be a delay because they took longer to harvest their first crop beans? That's what we'll have to look at on that. So moving in 1 5 day for Argentina, new cell has appeared here on the eastern border with Paraguay. So other than that, still relatively quiet in Argentina, getting enough rains now to tide them by though. So 6 to 10 day, a lot less rain in the forecast up in the center west Brazil and even in the this central region the next 10 days looks pretty dry, Clint. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not calling for a drought by any means, especially with moderate temperatures, but it could be something that we need to keep a close eye on. So then in terms of southern Brazil, looks like that cell that's in west or eastern Argentina and Paraguay has some of it going into southern Brazil as well. So there's that same pattern I was just looking at before. So overall today, not a whole lot of changes, but a lot of moderate temps, and that keeps, even if there is a lack of rainfall, it's hard to have a big drought when you don't have the hot temps to go with it.
Yeah, looks like everything's pretty well staying on track as we roll here to the end of the year. I guess this would be an appropriate time, Riley, to start addressing next week's schedule. Clearly, Thursday's Christmas next week, so we'll miss that broadcast. We'll get on here on Tuesday of next week, let you know how we're getting the week started, and then we'll touch base with you the following week and get your broadcasts out there as well. So as for right now, I don't see anything overly pressing and nothing that is going to spur anything here momentarily in the market. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, Clint McLaughlin, Riley Sidecard, Midwest Market Management. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.